And the plan was to go to music school for a year and learn some guitar and then go back to Europe and be an engineer and whatnot. And that never happened. The way to learn music in the US is very different. They present to you how music works, and then you can do whatever you want with it. New things have a place here. People are very supportive of it because the whole country, I think, wants to really establish itself with its own culture, which of course it has, but still it's only 500 years as opposed to maybe 2,000 years in Europe or 5,000 in Egypt, right? There's a difference. So to me, the new is the exciting. The old is very interesting, and there's a lot of wisdom and knowledge in those millennial cultures. But in the new culture, there's the excitement, there's the youth, there's a chance to maybe be a little part of it, and it's a good driver. I was playing in bands, and we all kind of had our songs together, and we knew what we wanted to play. We'd been rehearsing them. We'd all been putting in a lot of work. And then we'd go record them, and the engineers were trying to change our songs, and they wanted to give a lot of input. And I kept thinking, well, if you want to change the song why don't you just write a song and record your own song, right? We wrote it like this, can we just record it like this? But a lot of engineers were just kind of slowing down the process. And so at some point I thought, I'm going to try to record myself. What if I just get gear? And gear was starting to be available for the consumer. Now it's really, really readily available to anybody. I used to work with this board right here, which is cool, but it's all analog. So you're working on a mix, and say your mix is here, right? That's how you decided it sounded good. And then you go work on another mix, but then you come back and you want to retouch the previous mix. You have to remember where you put every little knob, and it's impossible. Yeah, you can take pictures and work with it, but it's and then it started having problems, and the phantom power stopped working on a bunch of channels, which is what powers the microphones and whatnot, and the main volume was crackly, and it's too many mechanical things that can break. And you can do it inside Pro Tools, which is recallable, where all these faders, they're all in wherever I left them last, so I can hear a mix, and then I decide to add a little more bass or cut some frequency on the kick drum, and I just do that, and then I listen to that. When they started, they really couldn't compete with the hardware counterpart, but these days they're starting to, and they really do sound like pretty fantastic, some of them. I need to have my hands on an instrument, and the computer for me does not count as an instrument. It's a very different approach. I've messed with it a little bit. And it's fun to a certain degree, but playing with other people is a much, much bigger feeling. And that's why I wanted to do music, and still to this day, that's why I want to play music, to communicate with other musicians with this universal language of music. When you're by yourself with a computer with all the new technology, yeah, it can sound all polished and perfect, but it's missing the human element. And to me, that's kind of what it's all about.
Expose your camouflage and put yourself on the spot. Rip off your mask and show me who you are. Choose the way you live and
live is where you really show your musicianship. Recording, you have as many takes as you want. You can really make it sound perfect. But can you pull it off live? That's where it's at. It's more in the moment. You never know what's going to happen at a gig. You never know how much you're going to remember of what you prepared for the song. And it's good like that. And you have to make up words when you forget your lyrics, and you have to improvise your guitar part because you forgot the one that you wrote. That's not bad stuff. People don't care how difficult the chord is that you're doing over here. You have to run around and fall on your butt and put the guitar up in the air and just kind of be a clown, and it's more entertaining that way. Even if stuff goes wrong, it's more entertaining. Like, I remember playing a show one time as a bass player, and the drummer was hitting his kick drum, and the kick drum was moving forward because we didn't have a rug for this. It was moving out of place, and he couldn't play, and he started screaming at us, "Hey, my kick drum!" And I had to stand there, and with one foot I had to hold a kick drum while I was still playing the show. People loved it. That was more entertaining for the people than that not happening. In movies, they tell you all these beautiful stories, how you get supported by everybody when you try to do some art. It's not like that. You get ignored by most, you get critiqued by some, you get supported by some as well, thankfully. And I think we all look to surround ourselves with people that do support it. Maybe not vocally all the time, it's not like we need praise all the time, but you know that inside they support it. And maybe it's because they are trying to do something of their own and they understand the feeling. And that brings us to Los Angeles. That probably brings people to New York, to Nashville, to London. There are places around the world that attract people that are tired of maybe not getting understanding wherever they're trying to do what they're trying to do. And they look for a place where many people are trying that. And they find their little group, and then art can thrive like that.